the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Turn 3 Racing Network, as tonight we are here with the OP Racing Grand National Series right here at the Ricky Bobby Foundation 183, presented by Levy. Our track is Talladega. My name is KR Solvis, and in the booth with me is my special guest here tonight, as none other than Sean Makara. Sean, how you doing?
You know, not too bad, KR.
Not too bad, but not too good, or what's the deal?
Well, you know, it'll be even better once the race gets going, you know?
Oh, absolutely. It'll be a good one. Be a good one. All right, so qualifying, we have 24 drivers who have taken a qualifying time. And Sean, so far we've seen these guys hit the track for one lap. What have you seen that stands out to you so far?
Well, Peter DeBorgia nailed the 69 420.
Oh, he did? Oh,
yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think anything else matters.
All right, well, we're watching Stanley Jr.'s. It just pales in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, Sebastian Marin's also on pole right now, but Peter nailed the 69 420.
He did not.
Sorry, Sebastian.
That's tough. Like,
oh.
Like, where do we go from here? National anthem.
Is this the end of the broadcast?
Yeah, national anthem. Let's go.
Huh?
Oh, Canada, our home and
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as our drivers have taken to the grid and they are starting to roll out, and we will go through tonight's starting lineup for the Ricky Bobby Foundation 183, presented by Les Levy. Sebastian Marin in the 23 on pole with a 54-130. Steve Korosek on his outside. Row number 2 will be Gabe Butler in the 88 and Vicente Guerrero in the 14. Row 3, Jim Mayer and Cody Nagels. Row number 4, Zach Workman and David Booth. Row 5, Jeff Crosby, Les Levy. Row number 6, going to be Eric Laurie on the inside, Zach Fritsch in the 12 on the outside. Anthony English in the 44 on the inside of row number 7. Sean Stevens to his outside in the Buck Wild Racing number 27. JD Crow and Richard Sanchez going to make up row number 8. Row number 9 going to be Mark Mann and Richard Kuhn. Row 10, the 51 of Travis Elliott, who joined me in the booth last week, and Jeff Crosby Sr. in the 15 on the outside of row 10. Row number 11 will be the 3 of Jimmy Reynolds, and I hit the button too fast. I think that's going to be Jeff Crosby Sr. to the outside. Aaron Brill and Peter DeBorgia for row number 13. Row 14, Daniel Holloway, Dave Hunt. Row 15, Stanley Jr. and Lynn McNeese. Row number 16, Dan Harrington, Bob Lacavera. Row 17, Adam Gilday and Rob Connors in the 00, and Andrew Schroeder making up our 35-car field. Anthony English, Rob Connors, and Andrew Schroeder all missed the call to the grid. And so, Sean, I'm going to throw you to the wolves. Why don't you call this first green flag cold open? Here you go.
Oh, geez. All right. Well, the pace car is right about to pull in here, and we're going to have Sebastian Marin controlling the start here. Like usual, he's got to go on green here, and he'll have Steven Korosek on his outside. Of course, Gabe Butler's a very trusted pusher on his inside, so he'll be looking to control the field going into turn 1 and be able to keep the lead off 2. And the green flag's out. And Gabe Butler gets a fantastic jump right onto his rear end. Perfectly executed. Vicente Guerrero is trying to push ahead Steve Korosek on the outside, but they're slowly losing ground. Sebastian is well clear if he wants to go up, but it doesn't look like he does. But Gabe Butler's going to move up high, just barely clear. That definitely created a little bit of a check up high. I believe that's Les Levy going to the 3rd line. And that would be Zach Fritsch following him there, and Richard Sanchez as well. But we already got some 3-wide action forming up very quickly on lap 1.
Making their way off of turn number 4 onto the front stretch to complete lap number 1. Sebastian Marin in the 23, your race leader, through the tri-oval and heading for the start-finish line. Here comes the 95 of Jim Mayer. He's going to jump out but can't quite get to the line. Your first lap led by the 23. Now with everyone up through the gearbox, trying everything they can to get, that fast lap, get up to speed, and stay on the lead lap. Speaking of staying on the lead lap, Anthony English, Rob Connors have made it out onto the speedway. They are 1 lap down. Andrew Schroeder has not made it out on the track yet. We'll see if the 48 can make it out there tonight. But for right now, well, we're 3 wide racing, and Vicente Guerrero trying to lead that 3rd lane. So, Sean, can you roll your R's?
I can maybe say burritos. That's about it, though.
Okay, now do that, but with Guerrero.
Vicente Guerrero.
Perfect. You are now the new person to say Vicente Guerrero every time.
Just that part?
Just that part. Anytime I'm talking about Vicente, you do that Guerrero with the rolled R's.
Just cut you off right there.
Just in the background, just nail it.
You've got it. Speaking of, it looks like he's running on the high line right now, trying to get something going.
That he is. He's got one of his good buddies, the 6 of Cody Nagels, on his back bumper. So those two getting hooked up very early. New fast lap of the race, a 49.94. That goes to the 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. And Sr. running a new paint scheme. And man, I'll tell you what, that 15 car looking pretty sharp here tonight.
Oh yeah, he's matching his son Jeff Crosby Jr. with the skull paint scheme. Excuse me there, but very different design to it. Same general sponsor.
Yeah, I'm digging on that number 15 here tonight. That one looks good. Look like kind of a spin on a classic. I can't quite pick it. You know, speaking of classics, just ahead of the 15, that's the 46. What's that car remind you of?
I'm not too familiar with my NASCAR history, but it's definitely ringing a bell somewhere. Care to fill me in on that?
I sure will. That 46 paint scheme driven by Neil Bonnet. Neil Bonnet, who passed away in 1994 in an accident, I believe, here at Talladega during practice. I have a feeling that's why David Overstreet is running this paint scheme here tonight. I don't know.
Not to make you feel too old, but that would be a little bit before my time.
Just a touch, just a touch. In fact, it was just a touch before my time as well, but I do try and always pay attention to key moments in NASCAR or racing history in general. And yeah, the 46 Country Time, or the Country Time car, I should say, driven by Neil Bonnet. I believe it was the 94. I can't recall 100%, but yeah, something like that. Hey, who's at the front?
At the very front right now would be, I believe that's Steven Korosek, but you also got James Mayer and Vicente Guerrero leading the third line.
Nailed it. Perfect. 10 out of 10. All right, so Steve Korosek in the 027 down on the bottom. Jim Mayer in the middle lane. We are 3 wide for the race lead. 5 cars in the outside lane. Speaking of, let's go ahead and take a quick look at our race info here tonight for the Ricky Bobby Foundation 183, presented by Les Levy. This is our 3rd different race car in 3 races, and that is how OP Grand National Series here on Wednesday night is going to operate. We will rotate between the ARCA, the truck, and the Xfinity or B car. Here tonight at Talladega, look for the pass to try and pass. What I mean by that is 3 wide to try and get by person to your inside, or maybe outside or inside outside as you're in the middle lane. Keynote here, you got to make it to the white flag. If you make it to the white flag on the lead lap, you have a shot at winning this race. We will have 1 stage at halfway, and we'll be at the completion of lap 35. 1 fast repair is available to the drivers here tonight. So, John, you've been out there mixing it up with OP Racing for a while now. How intimidating is it to know that you only have 1 fast repair?
Well, on one hand, you only get that 1 mistake, or at least 1 big mistake. You know, you can make minor ones to get a little bit of touch of damage, but those can still hurt you quite a bit. But on the other hand, the field is just filled with excellent talent, and quite frankly, you're less likely to get in a wreck here than just about anywhere else. So having 1 fast repair can almost seem like a lot sometimes.
All right, well, Zach Workman and Sebastian Marin, as this field has gone to 2 wide. Sebastian Marin drops down to the inside. So what happened to the 3rd lane, Sean? Can you kind of let us know what was going on there? Because this track is wide enough to support a 3rd lane the entire time.
Well, it appears they just didn't feel like they were getting enough of a run up there. Saw the opportunity to move down and took it, and just decided they wanted to cruise along for the moment. You know, it's never too bad of an idea to be safe, especially coming up on a lap car right here, as they're going to be lapping Rob Connors. So being too wide during that is definitely quite a bit safer. So you might see a return to 3 wide action shortly. Or maybe they're down to chill out, you know. Plenty of options you can go with. There's a lot of time to go in this race.
We are working lap 10 of 70. Sebastian Marin in the 23. Down on that yellow line, he is hanging tough and trying to not let the 19 to his inside. Got to worry about the outside, because here comes that snap-on 027 of Steve Korosek. A new fast lap that is done by Adam Kilday, a 49.93, repeating, of course.
He's taken up a 4th spot on the high line as they form up again with Les Levy leading it, and looks like, oh, that's some contact. Oh, that's gonna be a wreck. Oh, and that collected quite a few cars in the back there.
Jimmy Reynolds, Cody Nagels, Richard Sanchez. Can you roll your R on Richard?
Richard Sanchez.
Perfect, nailed it. 10 out of 10. So yellow flag is out. Let's back this up a little bit and see what happened to bring out tonight's first caution. Cody Nagels in the 6, hard into the wall, the 229. Getting on the binders and staying to the high side, trying not to get any contact. We were on a board with Adam when it happened. Let's see if we can figure out where it went wrong. Looked like in the corner. Maybe Sean Stevens got a bump he didn't like.
I believe Vicente Guerrero just blew up down the backstretch there.
Looks like the 77 of David Booth and Sean Stevens makes contact through the corner. And that is going to trigger the checkup. Because of that checkup, and Cody Nagels in the 6, hard into the wall. And death and destruction from there on out. All right, so you said you think you saw the 14 blow up, and he is 14
absolutely. The 14 absolutely blew up. It wasn't one of those Jurassic instant blow ups. He was able to coast, but definitely slow down enough to cause a checkup.
Well, he for sure lost a lot of spots before he could get onto pit road, so maybe something to that there. JD Crow, first one off of pit road. In fact, he was first one off of pit road because he missed his lane. While we have a moment, want to give a shout out to everyone in YouTube chat. Zach Fritchie, the first one to make a comment. How you doing, Fritchie? Good luck in your race tonight. Then William Dickinson saying yee-haw. Miss Mara, always here for an OP race and always cheering for her man, the 04 of Mark Man. Wow, the 21 is out on the track. I don't. Do we even care about the 21, Sean? I don't think we do.
Not particularly.
No. What a scrub.
I mean, he's here. We
get good.
Like, yay.
Get good. And then Joshua Kane saying the 14 blew up and you spotted it, and I think that's a lot to be said right there. 14 dropped the engine, causing a little bit of a timing issue for everyone else. everyone had to take action around it.
Yeah, it wasn't a drastic slowdown, but that shows you how close together everyone is. Even just a little bit of an unexpected checkup can cause some issues.
All right, so speaking of nasty, we got Ryan in the chat saying, let's get nasty with it. And I'll tell you, they did. They wadded up a bunch of cars right there.
Appears we had quite a few cars with lengthy pit stops repairing damage. Not sure how many fast repairs were used to this point.
Well, everyone does have one fast repair, one car reset for tonight as the lights go out on the iRacing pace car. The car that looks like every car but no car. Sebastian Marin on the outside for this restart of row number 1. Then it's the strap-on of Steve Korosek to the inside. Zach Workman in the 19 and Jeff Crosby Jr. in the 33 for row number 2. Nate Warren and David Booth on the restart of row number 3. Ryan slapping in some heat in the YouTube chat. English is Bush League. Guerrero all the way. John, that's your cue. Perfect. Nailed it.
I was hung up on the Bush League comment. That was not quite expected.
Get wrecked. All right, well, Anthony English did start from pit row.
I believe he stayed on the lead lap.
He has
No
stayed on
problems
the
there.
lead lap. He is on the lead lap, and so he is currently in 24th spot. So, Anthony English, maybe Bush League, but at least he can start from pit road and by lap 14 still be on the lead lap.
I believe he would have been well far enough away from the wreck to not be in it, so maybe he's just a prime driver.
We're gonna let the comment stay, Ryan. Bush League, not because we think Anthony is, but it's an original one. It's good.
Don't want to compliment him too much. No need to get the ego up there.
Oh, but we love Anthony. And he's a good driver. He'll get it done here tonight. Might even win this one just to prove you wrong. All right, so the green flag is back out. They head out into turns 1 and 2 side by side. Korosek and Marin. The 33 of Crosby Jr. is going to give a good shove to the 23 as he starts pounding that rear bumper. Sebastian Marin drops down to the inside to try and get out of the way. They work their way through 3 and 4. Sean, a restart here, kind of at the halfway point. We're on lap 15 of 35 for this stage. When would you have to hit pit road?
I'm not fully sure how many laps of fuel they're getting. I was definitely looking forward to some green flag pit stops to see how those would cycle through. But I can almost certainly guarantee you're getting less than 20 laps. So you may see some people go within the next few laps here, probably by lap 20 if they want to short pit it and be good to go to the end. Or you may see some people just stay out hoping for a caution until lap 32 or so. There are plenty of ways you could go in a situation as this one.
All right, well, everyone already single file at the front here in a super speedway race. Good indicator that they are trying to line up for pit lane. Is that something you guys notice when you're behind the wheel, Sean, that as green flag pit stops start to get within a few laps, everyone drops down to the inside?
Certainly, and you'll tend to notice it even more so if you're towards the back, as it'll cause a chain reaction of just slight slowdowns all the way through the field. And it can be an opportunity if you're someone who's willing to stretch the fuel a bit to go to the high side and gain some track position. As you see some people potentially trying to do, but I think they're more focused on getting down at the moment, so they're not making up too much ground at the moment.
Well, the long line of cars, we started 34 cars here tonight. 35 did sign up. So far, Andrew Schroeder has not been able to roll out. And at this point, I don't think he is going to make it into this race here tonight. So your race leader is the 23 of Sebastian Marin. Only one driver not on the lead lap, and that is the 00 of Rob Connors. As we go on board with Connors, looking out the front of this race car. He's tucked in sort of behind the 22 with JD Crow. Now closing in on him very quickly. He is the only car one lap down. So he'll have a good shot at getting back on the lead lap. Your top three, Sebastian Marin, Steve Korosek, and Jeff Crosby Jr. And here comes a big group of cars on the pit road. Contact Zach Workman and Jeff Crosby Jr. Workman out of shape. He's going to spin out on the pit road right there at the entry. That stacks up several other cars. Oh my, and that's what happens when everyone hits the pit road at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely going to cause some cars to likely lose the pack. At least some minor damage on some cars, maybe even a little bit of major damage on a couple. You really worry about pit road penalties there.
Well, I can tell you Zach Workman for sure is going to get a penalty because he went off into the grass. Here comes another group of drivers on the pit road. Richard Sanchez on the pit lane. Sean Stevens in the 27, going to stay out. Daniel Holloway in that 21. Bob Lacavera right behind him. Jimmy Reynolds in the number 3, and Adam Kilday rounding out your top 5 as we cycle through this green flag pit stop situation. So Zach Workman has served his penalty. He was the only one to get a penalty on that lap or on that scuffle that happened.
Zach Fritsch got a de facto penalty. He is well off the path.
Fritsch got tore up from the floor up when they made contact on the pit road, and he is about to lose a lap. He's just trying to get to the end of the stage. So, Sean, you've been out there. How important is it to try and survive stage number 1 with that fast repair still intact?
Well, at the very least, you want to get points if you don't have a clean car. It puts you in a real hole if you don't have any points or a full car left. Then it's difficult to get a good finish without a clean car and a fast repair left.
So Zach Fritsch gonna have to work on that number 12 to figure out if he can get through the rest of this race. Jimmy Reynolds in the 3, continuing to stay out. Jeff Crosby Sr. trying to close in on him. Senior in the 15 to the outside. Aaron Brill in the 70, making it his first start, I believe, with OP on Wednesday night. John, I don't know if you can confirm or deny that.
I can go check for you real quickly here, KR.
Okay. I just don't know if I've called Aaron Brill, sorry. But I do know I've seen a Sinclair paint scheme, so not 100% sure. New fast lap though, Richard Sanchez in the 510, laying down a 49.9 or 49.897 if you will.
This is in fact Aaron Brill's debut.
All right, well, Aaron Brill. First car one lap down as he is tucked in behind our race leader, Jimmy Reynolds. We'll keep a sharp eye on that 70 and, you know, it plays out for him.
I do believe he lost his lap on pit stop, so he should be good to go to the end here. He's just waiting on Jimmy Reynolds in front of him to pit eventually, but I believe if you're staying out at this point, you're staying out for quite some time.
All right, well, Jimmy last on pit road on lap 13. And I do not believe he can make it to the end of this stage on that tank of fuel. So what's the strategy here for the 3? Even if he catches a caution or 2, he still can't make it from here.
Quite simply, you made your bed, so you're laying in at this point. You're hoping for a perfectly timed caution, potentially right at the end of the stage. If you get a caution at 32 and the stage is called there, and you're able to pit on that caution, that gives you a stage win. Otherwise, it may not have been your plan to go this long. You may have had some extenuating circumstances as you're pitting in, or maybe it was your plan, but that's pretty much your only scenario for it to work out.
Gotcha. I never thought about trying to catch that late caution in the stage before you have to hit pit road, but one thing you do have to keep in mind is that if you do stay out an extended amount of time and the yellow flag does come out or the stage ends, you still have to make it to pit road and your pit stall under your own power.
Absolutely, but you can save those couple laps of fuel with a caution on, say, lap 31 or 32, because then at least you don't have to go all the way through 35.
All right, so Jimmy continues to stay out. The 15 of Jeff Crosby Sr. on the same strategy as him. Vicente Guerrero, oddly enough, in the 14, last on pit road as well on lap 13, but he is, well, about half a lap behind Jimmy Reynolds with this group of drivers who have pitted. So Vicente going to have a little bit of work to do here tonight as he tries to get back into this race. Jimmy is your race leader. 5 drivers, Dave Hunt, Richard Kuhn, David Booth, Eric Laurie, and Travis Elliott just turned their personal best laps so far. They're at the tail end of this field.
Zach Fridge was back on pit road. I believe he was taking a fast repair.
That 12 was missing the front clip. Now it has been reinstalled. The damage too great to try and make it to the end of the stage. So there you go.
One thing I should mention for the 2 of them staying out is they can also get just a single lap led for a bonus point. You can put that right in the bank, even if it doesn't work out for stage points. If you felt you didn't want to go for stage points, keep a clean car prior, you can still do that and you can get that free point prior.
Not a bad way to look at it. Travis Elliott in the 51, fastest lap of the race now at a 49.80. You can tell business is starting to pick up just a little bit. We've got some personal bests and now a new fast lap here at the end of the stage, and Travis Elliott in the mix of this group. These will be the drivers who inherit the race lead once Reynolds and Crosby hit pit lane. So Sean, coming up on the end of the stage, you've made your pit stop. You're the 23 of Sebastian Marin. You're battling with the 6 of Cody Nagels. How much do you worry about Jimmy Reynolds and Jeff Crosby Sr., who have not made a pit stop?
They're not in your mind at all. You have no control over them, and frankly, as long as you keep a clean car and don't cause wrecks in your group, you won't provide them the caution that they need. So you don't worry about them at all. You run your own race and just allow the stage to play out as it's gonna play out. Caution doesn't come out, then you inherit that stage lead. That's the only thing on your mind.
Well, I guess that's a good way to look at it. I don't have too much on my mind to begin with. So I'm not sure.
We were well aware of that one.
Okay, well, either way, Jimmy Reynolds on the pit road.
And that will mean that, well, actually this lap's going to be quite close, but it looks like Sebastian Marin's going to get credit for the lap lead. Just barely over Cody Nagels.
All right,
That'll
so
bring your standings quite a bit more up to date.
what?
That'll bring your standings quite a bit more up to date
yeah.
with as they would stand.
That is true. Dan Harrington in the 82, the first car 1 lap down. He's looking to try and get that free pass here at the end of the stage and get back on the lead lap. We are coming to the end of stage number 1. 23 of Sebastian Marin down on the inside. Cody Nagels in the 6 in the middle lane, and Mark Mann in the 04, who is up 15 spots from where he started, now leads the outside lane to try and win this stage.
He's being pushed by Travis Elliott, who's already banked to win this season. I believe he joined you in the booth last week, so he's been having a good run of fun this season so far on Wednesdays. Mark gets clear all the way down to the bottom, and they're going. Oh, they almost went 4 wide.
Why not? It's Talladega. We can make it work.
I think they thought about it and then had better thoughts that maybe a couple spots gained wasn't worth it. As Vicente Guerrero goes down pit road.
So Vicente onto pit lane. And we're rolling our R's up here and we're bombing his first name, but we enjoy Vicente and we got permission from him to do all that good fun stuff.
Did we get permission? I definitely didn't see any contract.
I mean, I signed a waiver for him. Does that count?
As long as your forging of his signature is good enough to sell.
It's fine. It's fine. Forgery's not a crime in the internet world.
I like to see your law book, but sure, we'll take your word for it.
Listen, it's not illegal if I've never read the law.
I'm pretty sure the law explicitly says ignorance is not an excuse, but sure.
I'm doing what I can with what I got, and it ain't much.
Well, back to the action. Sebastian has went to the high side, and Mark gladly took the run on the bottom, and he's clear as Sebastian if he wants to do the same thing right back.
So the 04 of Mark Mann has the race lead. He has the inside line. And that is the preferred line for these drivers, but they will use that second and third lane to try and get to the inside. Here comes Steve Korosek. He now has the race lead.
So
he has
well-timed
surged
run as
ahead.
they're double clear now.
Yeah, he and the 23 made a big move to the front, and now the 23 going to jump up to the outside of the 27. Cody Nagels in the 6, pushing on Sebastian Marin. Couple lap cars, but we're going to come to the white flag here in stage number 1 this time around. And so everyone really starting to claw tooth and nail for their spots here in the first stage.
A couple more cars going a lap down, unfortunately, right at the end of the stage, which will unfortunately mess up Dan Harrington's attempts at Lucky Dog, as Gabe Butler and JD Crow are about to go a lap down.
Well, the good news is we got one more lap to go in the stage. Even better news for Dan Harrington is he is already part of the pack. He is in that draft. JD Crow in the 22 has just gone a lap down, is going to have to try and close in. They'll fall behind just a little bit here. But now that he and Harrington are going to be nose to tail here, maybe in a lap or two, that might give the 82 all the break he needs. Sebastian Marin, though, and Mark Mann in the 04, going to battle it off side by side off of turn number 4. Big wiggle from that second car, Peter DeBorgia. They make their way through the tri-oval, and they are coming to the start-finish line. And at the line, I don't know. I want to give it to Mark Mann.
That is Mark Mann's stage, just barely.
Holy cow. That one was close at the line. I don't know if it was Mark Mann or Sebastian Marin, because it looked like Mark Mann at the line visually, but by the time I checked timing and scoring, Sebastian Marin was the race leader.
I'm showing Mark Mann by 1,000th of a second.
Oh my goodness, the 04 Mark Mann gets the stage win unofficially, because we're officially unofficial. How about that? Sebastian Marin with a huge run, though, coming off of turn number 4.
Mark would easily have it for a while, and that run came just a little too late. That's kind of finishes Talladega sets you up for. Mark has that by almost a full car at Daytona in the middle of the tri-oval there.
Well, Mark Mann will join Peter DeBorgia as the only 2 drivers to win a stage so far this season. Peter DeBorgia winning both stages in the first 2 races. And I say that because I have this nifty little graphic that shows him 2 stage wins. And so now we'll add Mark Mann to that here in race number 3. Peter DeBorgia in the 40. And I am not sure what happened. Yeah, Sebastian Marin is falling through the pack here. He maybe pushed that a little bit too hard. How close was
Anthony
that?
English as well falling off.
Mark Mann making it on the pit road. Peter DeBorgia diving off to hit his pit stall. Once Mark Mann in the 04 completes his pit stop, we'll pull him up. John, I'm gonna throw you under the bus again. I'll let you talk to him and give him this stage interview.
Oh yeah, oh sure.
What could go wrong?
Well, do you want me to answer that question, or is it rhetorical?
If I rhetorically said yes.
Well, quite a lot is the short answer.
Okay, let's do it anyways. All right, here you go. John, fire it off.
Yo, Shawnee!
How's it going, Mark? So you just won a stage.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, only 1,000th of a second. That was a close battle. How you feeling?
I feel good that I won a stage finally. Haven't really competed for very, very many of them in the last couple seasons. But that was fun running door to door with Seabass and Peter pushing. That was a good time.
Yeah, Peter definitely works his butt off at pushing at times. But so how you feeling going into the second half of this race?
Good. I took 4 tires there and I shouldn't have. Now I should probably top off. But how you doing up in the booth? You enjoying it?
Well, I have to sit with KR for about 2 hours, so
makes it easy.
Take that as you will.
That's cool. Now I feel good about this final stage here. I'm just gonna race. I got a quick repair in my pocket. Just go for it. Heck with it.
Clean car and a quick repair is more than quite a few people can say after a couple incidents, but
hell yeah, Dad.
Yeah. Well, anyone you like to thank for your stage win?
Yeah, brother. Thank you guys up there in the booth and the OP and all the admins and everybody watching at home. Know what I'm saying?
Absolutely know what you're saying. We ain't playing.
Know what I'm saying?
All right, well, good luck to you in the rest of the race, Mark.
All right, brother. Thanks.
Hey, Mark, do me a favor. What group are you with?
Alliance. Or maybe Team 6 down there?
Team
maybe?
6? It looks like Team 6.
Team
All right,
6, yes.
All right, that is Mark Mann, our stage 1 winner. Sean, nice job. Good interview.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you weren't listening.
What?
Huh?
Who?
You.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, I'm superb. I was saying you're a great job. Wait. Never mind.
You say you give great jobs?
I'm not saying what I said. I'm just saying I said something.
You said what you saw, but you didn't hear that you felt?
Who's on first? Hey, look, Steve
I
Gorsuch.
forget this line.
What line? Did you forget it again?
Did. Fantastic movie, though.
Who's on first? What's on second?
And when's on third? No. It can't be it.
Steve Korosek is our race leader, though.
Good for him.
Who's on the outside lane?
Looks like Richard Sanchez.
Perfect. Nailed it. Cody Nagel's on the inside of row number 2. And the 40 of Peter DeBorgia on his outside. Then the 53 of Dave Hunt, the 27 of Sean Stevens. And that's how we're going to kick off stage number 2, the final stage in this race, the final sprint to the end of this Ricky Bobby Foundation 183, presented by Les Levy. And so
Fifth row is quite interesting right now with Aaron Brill in his debut in 9th, and of course our very own Vicente Guerrero rounding out the top 10.
Speaking of top 10, I'm going to give you 10 out of 10 on that one. Like 10.1 out of 10. You're starting to nail these.
I feel like you're lone balling me a little bit.
I gave you a 10.1 out of 10. How can that be a low ball?
13 out of 10.
Okay. I'll give you a 11 out of 10.
All right, can I have a raise?
Sure. I'll give you a 20% raise.
All right.
Steve Korosek going through the restart zone. Green flag is out. Richard Sanchez on his outside. Peter DeBorgia trying to get to that back bumper. Cody Nagels looks like he got caught napping just a little bit, but that might help him close up and slam into the back bumper of the 27 through turns 1 and 2. They make their way up through the gearbox, final gear shift, and now they all have to keep that foot to the floor for the next 30 laps. Over under both attempts at a green white checkered. Well, that can't really be over under. All right, one attempt at a green white checkered. That over or under?
We're gonna go with under there. I think they're not gonna need any attempts.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 2 attempts at a green white checkered just to be different. So the house calls 1 attempt.
You are an absolute outlaw.
I do what I can.
which isn't much.
No. I'm quite lazy, if we're honest.
As long as you do your best.
I do my best, but gosh darn, it's not a lot. Richard Sanchez, your race leader, Peter DeBorgia, working that second lane now as he's got Sean Stevens on his back bumper. So Sanchez took the race lead, dropped down to the inside, the 40. Now trying to repeat the same move. Looks like we got a little bit of three-wide racing action towards the mid-pack there. And I believe that is the 21 of Holloway and the 44 of Anthony English.
They are trying to complete a pass on David Booth.
Yeah, they've been up there as the only two cars up there. Now JD Crow and Jim Mayer are starting to close in on them. They're going to have 4 cars in this line. Those 4 cars going to start generating some more energy. We might see them at the front of the pack here before too much longer.
We're certainly putting some effort in. Anthony English and Daniel Holloway are now into the second lanes. They're trying to get a run on Mark Mann. Then they quite possibly group up with him and make another run up to the top line.
So, Sean, Sebastian Marin has a new fast lap, 49.65. As they cross the start-finish line one more time, we'll see if that changes, and it does. It's going to go to David Overstreet at a 49.62. But all that being said, how do you feel about being an international superstar?
Well, quite frankly, I can't believe we're that desperate, but, you know, I'm down for it.
All right, well, you're an international superstar. Jackson Broadbent, all the way from New Zealand, checking back in here on an OP race night, Turn 3 Racing Network. Thank you, Jackson, for saying hello and joining us and making Sean Makara an international superstar. How about that? You're welcome, Sean.
I believe if he's watching on New Zealand, it wouldn't be a race night. I believe that'd be a race early afternoon, if I'm correct.
No, so you haven't applied the double negative, which in this case is the double invert. Because he's upside down and because he is also on the other side of the road, that therefore the double negatives counteract and math is applied. It makes it a positive. No?
Should I not mention it's approximately 4 p.m. in New Zealand?
I do quick math. I don't do good math.
Fair enough.
No, but we are glad to see Jackson chiming in. Josh Medlock as well chimed in, and he's wishing everyone stays safe in the coming storm. Hey, that's me, by the way. I'm going to be in the middle of this, and don't worry, work will make me show up the next day, no matter how bad it is.
Somehow in the Northeast, where we have snowstorms named after our region, I believe I will be perfectly out of line for it, somehow.
Oh. Well, that's boring.
Yeah. We like boring, though, when it comes to that. Oh, there's some contact up front between Pierre Bourgeois and I believe that was Stephen Korstek, but they handled it pretty well. Very easily could have missed that.
Well, there you go. Jackson just chimed in. It is 4 p.m. there, so I don't know what kind of wizardry magic you use to figure that out. And it's 4 p.m. on a Thursday. But yes, it is Wednesday night for us. So there you go.
And I believe we're the only ones that matter.
So Jackson, don't puff his head up too much bigger because he finally got something right. Otherwise, I'm going to lose a job. I'm never right, by the way, Sean. I'm always wrong. So if people start figuring out you're smarter than I am, they'll probably kick me to the curb.
Oh, sorry. Next time I'll whisper in your ear so that way you can tell them it's 4 p.m.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Or that not be believable because they're so used to you being wrong that if you're right, they'll know something's up.
That probably knows something's up.
Exactly. When this guy know literally anything.
This guy's an idiot. How did he know where it was in New Zealand? I've seen New Zealand on the map. It's purple.
It's purple.
Yeah, on the map.
Heard they got kiwis there.
Is that a fruit?
It's a bird. Also
Oh,
a fruit, but
close.
it's a bird.
That's close. Steve Korosek and Richard Sanchez continue to battle it out, leading their respective lanes. Now we have Peter DeBorgia leading the middle lane. Man, these guys are really mixing it up with 23 laps to go as they came through the tri-oval. Pretty sure I saw like 4 cars sideways.
Yeah, they're certainly enjoying themselves out there like we're enjoying ourselves up here. Except they're more stressed because their mistakes could result in the end of their night, where we'll keep going.
Yeah, they can end their night, but we can't end ours till the race is over. You can boo us all you want, but the race admins are out on the track and they're not going to quit driving to shut us off. So you're stuck. Perfect.
Like, should we not tell them they can quote? Never mind.
Never mind.
Yeah, they're stuck.
They're stuck. Speaking of being stuck, thank you very much, guys, for coming in and watching. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up so far here tonight. Mostly do it for the drivers, but if you can do it for Sean for coming in for the first time in the broadcast booth with me, that'd be great as well. It might make him feel well to know that there was an extra like or two because he added something to the broadcast. And by added something, I mean he carried the show.
I'd say leave a thumbs up for KR, but, well, lying's not right, so...
Yeah, no one in their right mind would do that. It's fine. It's okay. So while we've been chit-chatting, Jeff Crosby Sr. in the 15, that beautiful school race car. He is the last car on the lead lap, and he is also the last car in this lead pack. Finds himself just about 2 seconds behind our race leader, 027 is Steve Korosek. Cars 1 lap down, JD Crow, Gabe Butler, Rob Connors, Zach Workman, and Zach Fridge. Andrew Schroeder still has never made it out, so I think his night is officially done. 21 laps to go in this race. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to go out on the racetrack at this point.
I think he has a shot to win.
Jackson Broadbent is saying next year he'll be on track, so I'll get to call a race of his very soon. Oh, heck yeah, Jackson. Well, I look forward to it. Unfortunately for you, I've already called an international race here on OP, as we have had some Canadians interact. We also have Gabe Butler, who is an Irishman who currently resides in Florida, so it's kind of a wishy-washy, maybe, sort of. And then Sebastian Marin is Puerto Rico, I believe.
Well, that's not quite international. Well, close enough.
Again, it's wishy-washy.
Yes.
Gabe Butler was wishy-washy, Sebastian Marin wishy-washy. You take 2 wishy-washies, you add them together, and you get 1 international star. Like
Sure.
1 international gold star on your name on the board in kindergarten.
All right, so yeah, we're an international league.
There you go.
We also have 7 people from the state of Indiana alone in tonight's race.
How? There isn't even 7 people who live in Indiana.
Apparently they all enjoy racing in OP because OP is the best league around.
I mean, you're not wrong there. It is a super stellar, super speedway racing league. How many SS words can I throw out there at the same
super
time?
stellar, super speedway.
Yeah.
Well, That's 4 S words in a row, but 2 of them were super, so I think we can only count 3.
Well, good thing you can do that. Hey, 18 laps to go. When do you think they're going to hit pit road?
Well, Nate Warren already hit pit road. Not really sure why he went as early as he did. May have had some sort of issue, but I would imagine they'd be thinking about pitting within the next couple laps. If they're approximately 15 laps into their run now, but they aren't getting down to the inside too quickly. They're still 3 wide towards the front.
Peter DeBorgia in the 40 as Steve Korosek on his back bumper. JD Crow in the 22, who is currently 1 lap down, or now he is on the lead lap, last car on the lead lap, as he got around the 40. So JD Crow really hoping for that caution right about now, and that he's not the one in it, because that would get him all the way back around to the tail end of this field. The 27 is Sean Stevens. Says, I'm going to lead this race for Buck Wild. And it's been a hot minute since I've done it. So let's go ahead and let the Bucks go wild. For Sean Stevens being the race leader in the 27. And it's weather appropriate because we're all about to be covered in snow. Well, not all. By all, I mean me. I'm going to be covered in snow. Alyssa's here for JCJ.
Thought for the snow.
It should be a terrifying thought for the snow because I still will do 1 million miles an hour on the highway, and my truck will be sideways from my house to where I work. And I'll have a big old smile on my face the entire time.
I pray everybody's smart and stays home.
Me too, because that just gives me more room to have fun. Oh, here they come on the pit road. Peter DeBorgia in the 40, going to lead the first group of cars on the pit lane. Big lockup. Oh, contact in the middle of all this. Oh, shoot. Bob Lacavera almost making hard contact.
They safely made it, though.
Everyone made it safely.
It's a little chaos.
Just a little.
Get the heart rates up.
All right, so do want to give a shout out to Alyssa. How you doing, Alyssa? Thank you for saying hello. Jeff Crosby Jr. JCJ out in front. Look at that. The moment Alyssa is in the chat, here comes the 33. He's showing up. Got a super fan effect going on.
It appears.
Demare in the 95 looks like he is going to be the only car who stays out. We go on board with the 95.
He does have Nate Warren, who is already pit, and Gabe Butler in front of him, so at least he won't be too slow.
Yeah.
I believe the 2 of them, other than Nate Warren, will be pitting this time.
Seth Gruber chiming in. How you doing, Seth? Thank you very much for saying hello. '95 gonna peel off. So too is the 88 of Gabe Butler. Nate Warren in the 9 stays out. Nate Warren had already made his pit stop on lap 50 as we're now working lap 56. And this isn't going to work out into his favor at all. He has been by himself for too long. He is behind everyone who has come down pit road in this first group. So yeah, John, you mentioned not sure why Nate Warren came down pit road. Don't know if he had an issue or whatnot. That pit stop looks like he took fuel and 2 tires and dropped the jack and away he went, but now he's going to be having a huge uphill battle to get back into this thing.
We got Aaron Brill in his debut making another pit stop, potentially a penalty on his end.
Uh-oh, what are you hearing?
I'm hearing just about nothing, just noticing he pit a second time, which is typically unusual. And now he has made his way to the garage. He is retired from the race. So, not the best debut.
Not the best finish for his debut, but got some TV time. Got that 70 Sunoco on the camera, and as far as I know, I don't think he made a big crash, so not too bad of a debut. Not too good, not too bad.
He was, in fact, mentioned more times than several people on the broadcast in his first race, so he's got that going for him.
Should we talk about PJ Cox?
I don't believe we talked about Len McNeese either.
Well, we can talk about PJ Cox and Lynn McNeese, but Lynn McNeese is ahead of Richard Kuhn in the 47. Richard Kuhn in the 47 is ahead of the 77 of David Boo. Then there's the 35 of Stanley Jr., who's behind the 77 of David Boo. Stanley Jr. in 23rd. We've talked about Adam Kilday.
Oh, we got Zach Fritsch in the grass.
Zach Fritsch in the grass. Is he mowing the grass again?
The grass now looks trimmed. Doesn't appear there's going to be a caution as he went through the grass, managed to get it back on track, and I believe he was the only car affected by the incident.
Let's see if we can catch what happened to the 14. We're going to back this up just a hair. Contact with Eric Laurie, and Bob Lacavera will send the 12 through the grass. And you're right, we do stay green. So Peter DeBorgia and Steve Korosek leading their respective lanes. We're down to 10 laps to go. The house called for one attempt at a green-white checkered. Sean Makara said they will go the scheduled distance. They will not need an attempt at a green-white checkered. I called it as an over. They will need both attempts at a green-white checkered. Here we go. So far, we're into lap number 10, and everyone's still looking kind of calm, except for that one little incident through the trial hole that sent Zach Fritsch through the grass. Does that count? Outside of that, they've been calm.
They did have that one wreck earlier, but other than that, they've had a relatively clean race. I don't think they're going to double the incidents and get 2 green-white checkers.
Well, we'll have to find out. Mostly because we got nowhere else to go.
Looks like JD Crow has places to be, though, as he is the only car on the high side trying to make something happen, but he's not getting much company up there.
He is also first car 1 lap down in that 22. Oh, big wiggle out of the 23 of Sebastian Marin. He's still holding on to it. Sebastian Marin in trouble. Caution going to come out for this one. The 23 of Sebastian Marin had a big moment down the straightaway. Almost caught it, then lost it once again. And now the yellow flag comes out. Let's see if we can back it up just a little bit and catch everything that went down. Sebastian Marin really chased that car all around. The 21 to Daniel Holloway. I think Holloway made contact with Marin down the straightaway.
Yeah, it took a long time to develop.
Do what?
It took a long time to develop after some initial contact. It looks like Sebastian may have been able to save it, but he didn't have enough room between other cars. And eventually went around. Well, I believe we gave them an announcer jinx.
Oh, it can happen.
So I will take the blame for that caution. Absolutely my fault.
Well,
It's popular belief I am not perfect.
it can happen. It happens to the best of us. Why?
How are you aware of this?
I've called more than 2 races in my life.
Are you implying you're the best of us?
No. I'm just saying that everyone makes mistakes.
Oh, well, yeah, that's fair. Just don't want to be misleading the viewers.
No, I try not to mislead anybody. All right, so with that being said, without misleading anyone, the 40 of Peter DeBorgia is our race leader. Mark
With
Mann,
them
our
staying out,
stage
they all
1 winner.
clearly have enough fuel to make it to the end at least.
Yeah, they were last on pit road on lap 55. We're working lap 63. We're not even 10 laps since the last time they were on pit road.
I am curious about them being just barely short for some greenway checkers, so it is possible the people who just pit will have a leg up there, but I believe their fuel run will be long enough where they can handle at least one of them.
It is going to be close.
Which, of course, since I predicted 0 and you predicted 2, we are 100% getting only 1. So we're both wrong.
That's why the house called 1 attempt. So the 40 trying to save fuel as he's down on the bottom lane. Trying to shorten the track up as much as possible. And with everything that was going on, I forgot to mention we do have Hall of Fame voting going on. And Peter DeBorgia is one of our finalists in the Hall of Fame. And DeBorgia will be up against the 62 of Les Levy as well. So Les Levy, a candidate for the Hall of Fame. And then he will also be joined by the 17 of Jimmy Reynolds. Those drivers out on the track, they are our Hall of Fame contenders for the start of season number 10 on the Premier Series. Make sure y'all stick around and join us when that is kicked off. I believe that is, I want to say it's January 2nd, maybe even
the
9th.
opening race, I believe, is January 16th.
16th?
Give or take.
Okay.
Whatever that Monday is.
That will be January 16th. That is correct. So, Peter DeBorgia, Les Levy, and Jimmy Reynolds up for Hall of Fame nominations. And they will be joined by Aspen Belvin and Logan Helton. Those two drivers not out on the track here tonight, but no less Hall of Fame contenders. And Logan Helton, maybe possibly the heavy favorite for Hall of Fame announcement because picked up his championship last week on the Monday Night Series, the Premier Series.
Yeah, Logan's been a very good driver for quite some time, and he finally broke through with that championship recently, but there's quite a few good contenders as well. You got season 1 Monday champion Aspen Belvin. You have Levy, who's been around, I believe, since day 1 of the league. He's always done some good work behind the scenes as well. You got Peter DeBorgia, who's a newer guy, but has done a ton of work behind the scenes. I believe he's responsible for probably close to half of the paint schemes in the field and quite a few of the graphics that viewers see right now. And then Jimmy Reynolds, of course, runs the Monday series and previously ran the Wednesday series. So he's done a ton of behind the scenes work as well as being a driver from day 1. So wouldn't quite call it a shoe-in for Logan, but certainly the favorite at the moment.
Peter DeBorgia in the 40 out in front. There's good reason to be the favorite to win this race because he's out in front, but the 04 Mark Mann not going to let him go down without a fight. I don't think I said
Peter
that
was
right.
trying to make us have to update the graphics and add another win to the column. Lucky for us is a guy who does a ton of behind the scenes work. He's probably the one who has to update said graphics, so he's only making more work for himself.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong in that assessment. So with 4 laps to go, the 40 of Peter DeBorgia makes his way onto the backstretch. And Sean, what were you getting ready to say?
I was going to say, what says Hall of Famer more than winning a race just to make yourself have to do even more work? Just care about the league just so darn much. Come up on 3 to go, and Dave Hunt has made his way up towards the front. I don't believe he said his name too much tonight.
Dave Hunt in the 53?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it just a little bit. He had a restart where he was in the first 3 rows.
Well, I must have missed that and all the fun we've been having.
We have been having
Oh,
a lot
and
of fun.
there's a wreck.
Oh,
It's not a lot of damage.
Kuhn shoots down to the inside.
That slowed up a lot of cars, but we're gonna stay green.
Really slowed up Richard Kuhn in the 47 as he went shooting down to the inside. He was sideways. Smacks the inside wall and keeps it going. Stanley
Got
Jr.
2.
involved there as well.
Now 2 to go. Peter DeBorgia leading the inside line with Mark Mann and Anthony English in the middle and outside respectively. Now all 3 lanes formed up. Anthony English looking to clear on the high side.
All right, can they get to the white flag? If they get to the white flag, Sean Makara in his first broadcasted race will have the correct call. 1 car peeling off for pit road, and I don't think they meant to. That is Steve Korosek. Here they come to the white flag, and Sean Makara is going to win it all because he made the right call. They are going to go the scheduled distance.
Yes, I'm absolutely fantastic, but that pit by Korosek certainly hurt Peter DeBorgia's chances as he's fallen back to 4th on the inside. Anthony English leading the inside lane with Mark Mann pushing him. Dan Holloway leading the middle line. Trying to make something happen.
Here they come through 3 and 4 for the final time. Daniel Holloway in the 21 jumped into chat earlier. said, wow, that 21, and now he's got a shot at winning it. Anthony English in the 44, gonna try and hold him off. Here they come through the tri-oval. The 44 has the advantage, but the 21 has the momentum, and Daniel Holloway takes the win in the last 200 feet of the race and picks up victory here at Talladega in the Ricky Bobby Foundation 183.
Anthony English in second, and Mark Mann rounding out your podium. Travis Elliott, after winning week 1 and joining in the booth last week, takes up a 4th. He's having a fantastic start to his season. Sebastian Marin rounding out your top 5.
Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, that was a very solid race from start to finish. And Daniel Holloway coming away with the race win. That is absolutely outstanding. We already covered the top 5. Dave Hunt in 6th. 7th goes to Nate Warren, Peter DeBorgia, Gabe Butler, and PJ Cox round out your top 10. Sean Stevens in 11th. 12th goes to Les Levy. Bob Lacavera finishing in 13th. 14th goes to Jeff Crosby as the 21 starts to burn it down in celebration. Jeff Crosby Sr. in 15th. 16th, Eric Laurie. Jim Mayer 17th. 18th, Vicente Guerrero. Sean.
Rival.
Perfect. Adam Kilday in 19th. 20th, Dan Harrington. Jimmy Reynolds 21st. Cody Nagels 22nd. Lynn McNeese 23rd. David Booth 24th. David Overstreet 25th. 26th goes to Richard Kuhn. Stanley Jr. 27th. Steve Korosek with that last second pit stop ends up in 28th spot. Not sure what happened to him to cause that, but first car 1 lap down in 29th spot. That is JD Crow. Zach Workman 30th. Rob Connors 31st. Zach Fritsch 32nd. Aaron Brill 33rd. And our 34th and final car to start the race here tonight, that is Richard Sanchez in the 510. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and kick off the rest of our post-race show, our interview portion, by talking to the driver of the 21. That is none other than Daniel Holloway. And Sean, throwing you under the bus once again. You're right. I'm going to do it.
All right, how you doing, Daniel?
How's it going, bud?
Well, congrats on the win. How you feeling, bud?
Secured now for the playoffs now. Just one heck of a run pushing Anthony, and I didn't think I was coming back there. Then that middle line, I guess, kind of fell apart, so we came back down. But I did not expect to win that one.
Yeah, you certainly made a good run right at the front stretch towards the end. So kind of shot like out of nowhere. Tell us what happened there.
With 2 to go, Anthony was like, we should make the move, which we did. And on that backstretch, I was just glued to his bumper, and we just took off. I told him to clear. I said, don't worry about me. So if he got it, congrats on that, because I think that was the move of the race possibly. But then ended up with JD and them helping me. Appreciate JD again for that push on that one there, and just edge out Anthony on that one. So, and just again from that last caution, just aggressive on that last 10 laps, and with Seabass and stuff. So again, apologizing.
Well, absolutely. It appears you made all the right moves to get yourself to victory lane. Anyone you want to thank?
I'd like to thank the guys that was in the room tonight. Jimmy, Mark Mann, Anthony, and turn 3 up in the broadcast, you and the one and only KR up there, and everybody who's watching. Hopefully we put a good show on to you guys to watch, and just like to thank everybody.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
And Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right, well, there
Merry
you have
Christmas to you as well.
Daniel Holloway our race winner. Congratulations, Mr. Holloway, on picking up your first win this season. But now we're going to move on to our second place finisher. And I'll tell you what, Sean, I'll go ahead and cover this one as we talk to our second place finisher, and that is the 44 of Anthony English. Anthony, what an outstanding run you had here tonight, bringing it home in second place.
What's happening, KR? Yeah, it was a extraordinarily well race.
So tell us a little bit about it, because that 44 looked like it was busy behind the wheel for you.
I just tried to take it easy the first little bit, and then tried to hop up there, get some stage points, and didn't get as many as I liked. So kind of just chilled at the back, tried to nail pit stops. Got lucky and missed that last little wreck that happened there and stuff, and gave us some track position. And pretty much just me and Daniel ended up in the high lane with like 2 to go, and we were talking about taking that high lane before somebody else got there, and we seen them start, and so we just went. Oh, it's all credit to Daniel for that, because he pushed me so hard. I mean, we flew by, I cleared, and then he was able to actually clear too, not too far behind me, and ended up just being, me and him racing. Mark Mann pushed the hell out of me, and we were so close, Kara. We were right there, but yeah, good win for Daniel.
Well, solid second place finish here at Talladega, third race of the year, and this 44 looking like it is a contender this season. So nice job here at the Ricky Bobby Foundation 183. Anthony, any other shout outs, thank yous you need to give?
Oh, for sure. You guys up in booth, KR, and what Sean was up there with you tonight. So Sean, and then everybody OP for what they do. They put on for us, and all the guys I was racing with tonight: Daniel, Mark, Richard, Jimmy, James. We tried to do what we could to stick together. It was rough there for the middle stretch, but we're able to persevere and get 3 of us to take top 3. So that's a win all around to me. And then my family and friends that watch all the time, my beautiful girlfriend who's sitting on the couch ignoring me, and I guess that's it. You guys all have a good one.
Well, there you go. Anthony English, driver of the 44, your second place finisher here tonight. Nice job, Anthony. Now let's move on to our third and final interview. And Sean, you ready for the last one of the night?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's get that mic keyed up for the 04 of Mark Mann. Fire it off, Sean.
All right, Mark, so you have to talk to us twice. So other than just how awful that must be to succumb to that torture, how you feeling after that podium finish?
I feel good. I kind of wanted the lead, but I didn't have anywhere to go. So I really tried hard to get Anthony that win, because he was the car in front of me that I was pushing. And just didn't happen. That high line had a huge run at the end. And congratulations to Dan, my teammate. And we'll go home with third. That's all good.
Yeah, with the stage win, excellent points tonight. That should help you quite a bit, even if a win would have locked you in. But other than that, do you think there's anything you could have done differently there to go for a win?
For a split second there, I had Anthony clear. I could have cleared him and stayed with that high line, but then they would have just fanned out, and I probably would have finished third anyway. So it was just keep hammering on Anthony if I could, and if it opened up there in the tri-oval, I may have considered taking it, but it always feels good to push somebody to a win, although I didn't do that tonight. I'll take Dan as winner. That's just as good. I told you I can't sit back anymore. All last season and every series, just kind of watching things happen, and you have to be cautiously aggressive in these races. You never know where the wreck's going to come. Looked like there were 2 blown motors tonight, so that's another thing to keep an eye on with these cars. And then when you start to see them get wonky in the middle and on the low line, half the time that's because that car's checking up, because they're getting way too hot. These cars get hot very easy.
Yeah, I only noticed 1 blow motor, but I easily could have missed one.
I think at the end. I believe Korosic blew up there at the end. He was working hard for Peter there.
I know he pit for some odd reason, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he popped his motor there.
All right. Well, we'll take your word for doing a better job than either of us. Other than that, well, obviously your group did a fantastic job considering three of you folks got podium, and you got the stage one on top of it. But anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, thank Fritch for putting this on here on Wednesdays. I mean, he's bringing out some good crowds and some really quality of drivers, so it's going to be pretty competitive for the rest of the season, I have a feeling. So thank them, thank him, and everybody else behind the work. You guys at turn 3, and my teammates, and Makara, she's probably watching at home. Everybody else who's watching, and Rick's watching at home. What's up, Rick?
All right, well, Mark, congratulations on that final step, man. Nice job.
Thanks, brother.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the Turn 3 Racing Network here tonight, as the Ricky Bobby Foundation 183, presented by Les Levy, is won by Daniel Holloway. So, Sean, your first time in the booth, man. Nice job. Congratulations. How'd you feel it went?
Not too bad. Could definitely spend a little less time consecutively with you, but other than that, maybe Al could hop in here at some point, but he's your better half. But other than that, it was quite a bit of fun. I had a good time tonight. Got to watch some good racing. So it's a really good race. Only 2 cautions, so yeah, had fun.
Absolutely. I enjoyed it as well. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday night as we kick off race number 4. And don't forget, January 16th, with our big Hall of Fame announcement to kick off the broadcast. So that will be on a Monday night for the Premier Series. So until then, stay safe and have a good night.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.